out here in Elk Grove today to help a really, really special family that is just apparently having some unexplained paranormal activity that they'd like to get to the bottom of. As usual, we don't have a whole lot of information ahead of time. We just know that it's concerning enough to where they want to know, is it them? Is it something following them? Is it their imagination? You know, what is it and why? And how do they rectify the situation? Most of all, there's a lot of children in the home, and there's some pets, and which I hear the dog that's not a demon. That'd be a dog. And with a lot of children, especially young ones, I'm feeling like there could be a little bit of this beacon sensation. I feel like the mother and one of the younger children both sort of send out an energy to the universe of, I can feel, I can sense, and I feel like mom is sort of kind of try to close it off, and that denial thing will make it kick in a hyper gear because they want to get like, no, you can't ignore me, you can't ignore me. So I think they're getting louder because she won't listen and set proper boundaries with them. It's more like, okay, I can feel you, I can sense you, thank you, but I'm not open for business. It's more about a management technique, I think, that needs to be taught here. And John and I have already seen a gentleman about 5'10", a little husky, wandering in the backyard. I feel that's a residual energy. He seems to be really interested in that barbecue. I think he was a real foodie. He seems to be like, well, that's just what I would do. And I see like a beer in his hand, and he's just like, where's the tri-tip? Like, I don't know, dude. I don't really know where it is. So we'd like to get some answers for this family and some peace of mind, and teach them some techniques to keep the energy properly managed so they can just simply be happy and be a happy family and just go about their day-to-day lives. While I cannot promise paranormal free in a household with sensitives, I can share with them methods to turn that volume way the heck down. So we're going to do that. We're going to wander, and we're going to figure some stuff out. Just want to make their life a little easier. That is our mission.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. I feel almost woozy in here.
I know, it's very dizzying.
I wonder if there's a high level of EMF in here.
I wonder as well.
Which might just contribute to either paranormal activity and or feeling unsettled and feeling watched. Because I feel watched. And I feel nervous and watched in here. And I feel like I would see little things moving in here, or feel like something had moved in here. It's very unsettling. Almost.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of weird.
What do you think about all this? Got an opinion? Yeah, that's kind of odd. It's an odd sensation in here. Yeah, it's a little half bath in the garage right there.
Okay. Alright.
Do you have any trouble with the garage? Yeah, so I probably should go look at the garage because they're telling me we make racket. But I also feel like in the kitchen I feel watched, and I feel like I hear things in the kitchen as well. So is that an experience that you have had?
I know that the dog kind of acts up in the kitchen.
Okay.
It's the same guy.
We'll verify on that.
Yeah, maybe he's trying to get some more food.
I know, like, is he hungry? Bro, like, you don't need to, It's as if
Doesn't feel good in here.
they don't realize that the house is here. It's really weird, like, it's a bizarre, very bizarre thing. Like they cling on things.
Careful.
Well, John's gonna become a ghost.
Oh, jeez. Don't die.
I hear like things being hit. I hear it.
Huh.
Yeah, it's a little bit strange. What I kind of sensed in the garage, like I kept hearing like metal clanging. I kept hearing clanging and shuffling, and it's as if like whatever it is doesn't know the house is here. So it's a little bit strange. Oh, you're sitting still.
Look at those ears.
Would you like to see them?
I'll get to them. This is a very strange feeling right here. I almost feel this level of apprehension and like in nerves, like the tingles on the back of your neck sort of feeling. Why I feel nervous about the staircase, but I feel nervous about the staircase. So, and as we go along with the walkthrough, you guys obviously please participate. Go ahead and, follow along, do anything you want, and validate anything that if we have an experience or notice something that resonates to you, please chime in and validate any of that. Not yet, but we're gonna have, when we bless the house, we will have to bless in there.
Here.
Well,
When the time is right, I shall get a good picture of Toka. I'm Toka. Good boy.
it's really weird in here, just this way, but it's quiet.
Yeah.
It's very quiet.
It's not very loud, that's for sure.
That's right.
Well, my ears are ringing in here.
Really loud.
Yeah, mine
This-
started.
this-
Wow.
No, my ears ring in here, and I just feel almost a lot of, what's that sensation? What am I feeling? You feel, there's a sense of like isolation. It's an isolating feeling. It's a very isolated feeling.
Weird.
Ooh, yeah, let's.
Yeesh.
My ears were ringing extremely loud.
Did you feel dizzy?
I felt wonky. I felt sad. I felt isolated. It felt just like something.
very
screaming.
uncomfortable.
It was really, it was very, very, very uncomfortable feeling to me. So that's why I wanted to get out of it for a second and sort of have a objective moment, like not saturated in it, because it was like flooding.
The room that I feel like I noticed a lot of the problems.
Yeah.
That is why we called you.
But I'm not really sure. I mean, so that could be even past life
But
stuff.
it's not, because it's not 21st century, or not even 20th century for that matter, or 19th century.
Well,
Yeah, we'll find out.
I won't get rid of your friendly spirits.
Gosh.
I promise. And we go into different types of hauntings, different types of experiences. No two hauntings are alike. No two experiences are alike for a
Cases
family.
are alike.
Yeah, so, and each person in the home may receive the information differently and have a different perception of what they are encountering. Some people might see it as just friendly and harmless. Some people might see it as too much and too intense and seriously uncomfortable. I mean, it's a wide variety of experiences that are even going on in your family. And the one bedroom with that really large bed, I felt very sad, very oppressed, very heavy, very just isolated. I felt a sense of isolation and like please keep away from me, and like a very distancing feeling, and almost like a shutting down, an emotional shutdown feeling in that space. Then one of the other bedrooms, it was like the one that actually overlooks the gate on that side. It was just kind of quiet. It was weird. It was like hauntingly quiet. And then where the kitty cats were, it was just I don't know. I felt almost like arguing, like a sense of arguing. There was like arguing in that space. It was a really interesting energy in there. And while we're not allowed in one of the other rooms, there is a little boy in there that we think.
Not little.
Well, he changes form, which is probably why he's probably not actually a little boy. Well, he showed me his original age, which is fine. But if he is changing shape and age regularly, if I see him at one age and somebody else sees him at another age, that's disconcerting. That means that they're mimicking what people want to what people want to
Showing people
see.
what they want to see.
Yeah, and that can be dangerous.
Just can.
It doesn't have to be, but it can be. Or some spirits will show me the stages of their life, and they will show me, I started out looking like this, oh, and then I looked like this when I got older, and oh, and then I looked like this right before I died. Like, they'll show me different stages and phases of their life. I've seen people, like, I'll see people's grandparents and things like that, but they'll show me when they're like age 40, like, but I looked really good at this age, so this is what I want to show you. And that's fine. I mean, I'm okay with that, when they just simply want to present themselves beautiful and nice, and they just want to give the best foot forward. But if they are capable of presenting themselves in a lot of different ways, it's interesting. It's a really interesting experience. And I'd like to get more answers to what exactly is triggering a variety of activity, because we have the residual gentleman outside, which may actually be an active entity. And that entity could be projecting different energies in the house and different levels of himself and through the house. The human energy in the home, oh, that's what you mean by created it, psychokinetic. So sometimes when people are gifted and they have stress, if there's stress in the house, if there's fighting it, or kids are arguing, things like that, or parents not getting along all the time, things like that happen, anxiety and stress can come out of a gifted person, launch into the space, and manifest and create its own sentient entity. It's PK, psychokinetic activity. And so I'm a little confused and wondering if some of this is poltergeist
I was
activity,
gonna say what you're describing is a poltergeist.
but not like you see in the movie. Like
No,
people
no.
get that idea, like, oh, it's like the movie. No. Poltergeists, in theory, are created by human energy that has escaped the human body and launched into the space over and over and over again until it layers and layers and layers and like builds an energy. And then the energy just disturbs the space. So at first it's like a tornado. It like disturbs the space. You'll hear knocking. You'll hear stuff moving. You'll see lights, like light anomalies. You'll see stuff moving, or out of the corner of your eye, little shadows, stuff like that. And as things continue, anxiety continues, imbalance continues, it feeds this energy, and it feeds it, and it feeds it, and feeds it, and then it blooms and grows into something that then interacts on its own accord.
It's got its own personality.
It's got its own energy. Yeah. And the way to, because there is some dead here, the actual dead, like just dead people walking around. I don't really feel threatened by those particular energies. They're not scaring me at all. They are what they are. But the really good way to deal with psychokinetic ability, that gets a lot more complicated, and that's a lot of aftercare that you guys are going to have to invest in the time, which is meditation, tai chi, smudging yourselves and the home periodically, therapeutic options, massage, Reiki, standard regular just therapy. Those kind of things will be useful for adults and children to manage the energy. But the meditation and doing like tai chi, just watch a video of tai chi together, yoga, stuff like that, just to get to that calm. Yeah, that kind of stuff is perfect to get to the calm energy. And that would be sort of a family affair or like a family event, because managing that energy so it's not launching into the space, any fighting or anxiety is like a little droplet of food to whatever this is, and it collectively becomes stronger to the point where it becomes unmanageable. Our blessings do push that type of energy out of a space. We can actually break that up and sort of make it fizzle.
Manageable.
But then you guys have to really invest in the time and the aftercare of, the meditation and the therapy options and all of that to make it stick. If you don't stick to the routine, if anybody, because you have more than one gifted child, if any one of them has a really bad, week, they can dump a lot of energy into the space. Does that sound like that makes sense to you, resonates to you? Do you have kind of some thoughts, feelings, or theories about that?
I feel like sometimes it's before children that I'm feeling the energies coming from. It was before children, so.
So that might be coming from you.
I don't know about that.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of maybe something that's been following you for quite some time.
Yeah.
But then here's the thing, it could be more than one energy or entity or thing you've experienced. Years ago, when you didn't have any kids and you're just a little bit sensitive, you probably picked up spirits and then maybe got rid of some, then picked up some new ones and got rid of some over the years as you went and so on and so forth. The activity you had 15 years ago may not be the same kind of activity that you're having today. It could be two different apples and oranges. What you were having way back when could have been 5 or 6 dead people banging around your old home and causing you grief, and maybe they were attached to the land, or maybe they were family. And then now you have a whole new chapter of your life and a whole new slew of things that could be happening in your home. I do feel an older male gentleman around you that seems very stern, very just very strict and stern, like a really scowly type of like look on his face that I'm not sure what to make of him yet, because he really isn't, he's actually not speaking to me at all. He's just there and just like scowling at me, like what did I do? So I don't know if you've ever seen or experienced that particular energy or know who that energy is, But for me, they seem like they have been around a lot.
Yeah.
So
I don't know anybody that's like that. I mean, I've never been really close to anybody that has actually gotten to the old age and died that have been male.
yeah,
So,
he's possibly associated with the land then.
yeah, it's possible.
I mean, because he's got a real
Yeah.
bad attitude, and I'm not sure how I feel about him.
Picking up anything Native American.
Oh, there's definitely Native American energy, but I don't think that they're.
They're
I don't
not the
think
main
I don't
focus.
think that they're causing problems.
No.
I think they're here, but I don't like on the land. But I don't think that they're causing any issue. They're wandering about, but I don't think that they're.
They always wander around this area. They've
Yeah,
been
I don't find them to be aggressive. And then they're telling me that there was some sort of negative interaction with a living female that she may not be alive now, but there was like it ended badly or bad blood, like it was a real kind of like it didn't end on good terms. Something with it didn't end on good terms. There's a female that just didn't end well. So it seems like you probably do have a variety of different energies kind of floating through the space. It's not just one simple answer. And I love it to be one simple, just one bad dead guy, oh yay. But this is more like a crock pot. You got some carrots, you got some potatoes, you got some meat. I think it's more than one thing. So I think that what we'd like to do is probably run the meters through the whole space and see if we can actually document
some hot spots and
the
what have
hot
you.
spots and kind of validate like what that means and why that is. And I don't control the dead, and none of us control our gifts either. So there is some stuff it's almost guarded energy. Like we're not like I feel like we're not being allowed access to certain energy. Like there's these little walls in between us and some of the energy in the space, and I'm not sure why or what that is. But I'm happy to at least explore a bit of it and just kind of validate what we can. I mean, obviously we validated some of the sounds you've been hearing and things like that, but we'd like to get a better beat on some of this because it just feels a little off kilter. It just feels, I feel more human. The human energy I think is dampening my ability to connect to the dead. It's really weird. Like it's the human element that is so saturated into the space and like anxiety and yeah, it's like it's chaotic emotionally. That's what I feel here, emotional chaos.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's why I'm having like a hard time, I guess, breaking through all of that because it's like I'm in the middle of a tornado. But yeah, it's like there's not that much happening, but I feel like I'm in the middle of one.